Welcome back to Blue SWAT not Blue SWAT, Metal Heroes Review, episode 157. Yes, I'm talking Blue SWAT here, discussing episodes 43 to 45. By the way, 45 actually follows up with a plot idea for episode, I think it was like 42. I think it was. What was the one that this creature popped up in? Oh yeah, it's a follow-up to episode 45. Yeah, they revealed something interesting about his character, that one. So, oh, by the way, the Mother Brotherham character, the monster without it uses a head that was created from a Zola head from Flashman. Yes. And I was like, no wonder why it looks so familiar. It's basically the same grunts as basically from Flashman. Yeah. Just by sheer coincidence. So, in the course of these 3 episodes, we have it where this alien creature, who is a relative of another alien creature who was killed early on the show, wants revenge on Blue SWAT, so he proceeds to manipulate Seg to think that Blue SWAT has been defeated and the world will be conquered, but just will be conquered by the Space Mafia. He, of course, forming new allies, which, of course, this comes right after the entirety, except for him, all Blue SWAT. It turns out this is all an illusion, just so that the Space Mafia can get their hands on the data that the Blue SWAT has on them, and eventually, of course, basically, they do beat them. By the way, the creature will be defeated by the end of the episode. Though in the case of 44, this is basically just, we have a creature named Pulse, who is sent up by Monsieur J, who is kind of going rogue this episode, and they kind of basically have him where he is getting punished to start the next episode because mentioned this episode. So Pulse is the plan that Mr. J has, is to use Pulse to activate missiles at American military bases, destroy the world's cities. And the Queen is like, that's a terrible idea, call off your plan. And he's like, when she leaves, like, I'm not calling the plan, I'm going forward with it. So Pulse basically, there's also this minor subplot where, let's miss a guy who's got a toothache, basically has a cavity, and he's afraid of dentists. Oh, and by the way, it's at the end of the episode, that show doesn't like dentists at all. This one feels like a bit of advancement, like the whole thing, the Space Mafia, them in this episode, that it feels like a tiny bit of advancement of the plot. It feels more like a filler episode than the actual advancement of the plot. I would say, in the case of 45, that feels like advancement of the plot. These 2 episodes, I would say not really. I would say a little bit per se. I would definitely say 43 kind of does. 44 definitely feels like filler. In the case of 45, basically, where despite the fact he's punished to do whatever, it's like, he just points to the Queen, the fact that she has no followers, her fleet has been destroyed, so he basically knocks his own plan by enhancing himself with a drug. And it's a drug that basically causes several aliens to merge each other to basically compensate on space. So he basically merges 3 of the aliens into one, and also uses himself to basically invade Stig's body. By the way, there's a revelation about this episode where it was set up in episode 41, and we finally pay it off here. I'm like, why in the world couldn't this be done, like, just after? Like, because Stig is being possessed by Monsieur J a lot of the episode, and the plan for him is to kill Zichi, the kid basically who Monsieur J was possessing early on when he first opened the show. And this is the first time we see him since episode 29, I think it was. Though we did tease this whole ending thing here, thanks to a dream sequence from Sig sleeping on a lounge. Well, basically, it's sleeping on a lounge chair. Yeah, apparently Blue SWAT doesn't have beds. They sleep on lounges because they're kind of on the run-ish, despite the fact that I'm sure probably that the Air 2 probably have their own apartments, but the Air 3 don't. Oh, by the way, the whole idea of like, follow with the plot idea from episode 1 with like, like the fire, never followed up here. Never is. And then, of course, and it gets close to killing Zig, of course, takes him out. And then, of course, go apply him, shows, of course, they develop a new weapon. And just this one named Rena. And, of course, yeah, this also is follow up to not only 41, but we follow up from another episode. Yes, it's like 45 is a follow up to not only 41, but also 39 as well. I'm like, wow, we're paying off basically 2 different plot threads here? I'm like, interesting. So they make a new weapon to basically the merged aliens. Of course, they're killed by the gold planet shows up. So then, of course, Mr. J is basically liberated from Sig, and after he has a reluctant defeat, he has a reluctant retreat from him. It's kind of revealed in this episode that Sig has kind of been merging with the host he's been having since before the start of the show, Hiroshi. Yeah, because of the fact he's been in the body for so long, his alien body is merging with the human body, and Sig is becoming human. I'm sure probably his alien knowledge is probably not going to be affected per se, but his green blood is churning red. I'm like, that is interesting. I like the fact we follow up with 2 major things here. The weapon they may make this episode that is based upon from the creature that was killed off in episode 39. And cool the fact they did this. Now we have roughly 6 more to go, and they'll be done with Blue SWAT. Yep, 6 more to go. Yep, so yeah, that's pretty much that particular video. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications. Well, next up we have is, of course, more Blue SWAT. Okay? But until you see the next video. Bye.